Hi comrades, yours Kayveeyes. The next class for the postal assistant examination is going to be presented in this episode. Please go through the video minutely again and again and prepare yourself for the examination in a neat and effective manner.
Hello everyone. In the previous PO Guide session, we have completed up to the book packets, and in this session, we'll start from the fifth inland article type, that is from sample and pattern packets. So, as the name suggests, the sample and pattern packets is a packet in which we can send samples of goods like food grains, cotton cloth, medicine, seeds can be sent as a specimen or a sample, but not at saleable quantity. It should not contain any MRP, it should not contain any saleable value. Only it should be sent only purely for the purpose of specimen or a sample. Since this is also a book packet, it should not be actually closed. If it's closed, the content should be declared on the cover. Otherwise, it should be sent in open condition as a case book. And the persons, those who want to avail pattern packets, they should have a bona fide trade patterns or a sample of merchandise without any saleable value or objects of natural history without any commercial purpose. This should not be sent in the method of commercial purposes, and these sample patterns also should not contain any kind of personal communication. It should be open for inspection, not the contents are to be declared. So, objects of natural history, dried or any preserved animals or plants, any geological specimens are also admitted under this class of transmission, provided that they are not sent for commercial purpose and that they are not prescribed for pattern. So the thing is that only the person who has bona fide trade patterns can send this, and it should not be of commercial nature. And these kind of articles like food grains, geological specimen, cloth, medicine, which does not have any saleable value, can be sent through the sample and pattern package. So the maximum weight for this article is 2 kg, and prices for the first 50 grams it is rupees 4, same as book packet actually. So for the first 50 grams it is rupees 4, and for every additional 50 grams it is rupees 3. So this is the tariff of the sample and pattern package. Okay. So what is the penalty of a breach of conditions? If a sample packet is found to contain A, which is not better, or if it is found that it will be sent on commercial nature, then it will be charged on delivery, the letter or parcel, whichever may be. So the double the deficiency by treating it as letter or parcel. Any postage paid, how it will be taken into account, and if a packet is not packed in the manner prescribed therein, it will not be forwarded further, and it will be returned to the center or the return office. So this is about penalty for any breach of conditions of this sample or pattern package. So the next thing is book packets containing printed books. So the name itself explains. So it contains printed books. So we can send books by using this method of transmission. So any kind of printed books can be sent by using this kind of way. Printed books should not contain any advertisement. So printed books without advertisement can be sent in this clause, and the periodicals cannot be sent as printed books. So the books which you are sending should not contain advertisement, and you should not send periodicals in this kind. So story books, textbooks, any philosophical or mythological books, like standard books which will not have any further editions. Those standard books are the best examples which can be sent through printed books. And these kind of books which you're sending in this type should not be published in regular intervals. That is, it should not be in periodical. And these packets may be superscribed as book packet optional. And it should also not be closed, and it should be eligible for inspection, and its content it should not be posted in open condition only. So any such book may, however, contain in writing not more than 5 words or initials of a complementary nature of signifying presentation. So as we told in book packets, these kind of books can also have 5 words or initials that is of a complementary nature of signifying the presentation. So these can also contain 5 words. So what is the tariff for this printed books? Very, very, very economical. The maximum weight is same as that of book packets, that is 5 kgs, and the tariff is for the first 100 grams, it is rupees 1, and for every additional 100 grams, also the same one. So which means you can easily keep it in mind, for every 100 grams or a part thereof, we are charging only 1, and you can send up to 5 kgs. So this is about the rate and maximum weight and the tariff. So the next class of article which is going to look is periodicals. Very important. After this, we are going to see the important kinds of inland mails. So what is a periodical? So those which were published in regular intervals, right? So those kind of articles, we call it as periodicals. So we can send periodicals in this class if the periodical is registered with RNI, that is Register of Newspaper for India. So the periodicals which is being registered with this RNI can avail this facility of concessional rate. So superscription like the periodical registered with so and so RNI under so and so number should be definitely being printed in that periodical, and also price has to be definitely be printed. Price is very important. Up to this, we have seen one fixed kind of articles. All the tariff which we have seen earlier will be based on weight of the article, whereas the tariff of this book packet containing periodicals depends upon the weight and value of the periodicals. So the price has to be printed in that book, and no free circulation is allowed. So free circulation has no concession in this type, and it should be accepted under book packet rate. So the maximum weight is same as that of book packets, that is 5 kgs. Now we'll see the tariff. The tariff of this kind of article is the value based on value and weight, as I already told. So if the value of a periodical is up to rupees 20, for the first 100 grams it is rupees 2, and for every additional 100 grams is rupees 3. And over and above 20 and up to 50, for first 100 grams 4, and then after 100 grams 5. And over above 50 rupees up to any value, the for first 100 grams will be charging rupees 8, and for every additional 100 grams or part will be charging rupees 9. This is about the tariff of the book packet containing periodicals. So this is about periodicals. So tariff based on value and weight. So the next important thing is that registered newspaper, very, very important class of article for examination, that too for PA examination and postman, everything. Registered newspaper is very, very important. So registered newspaper, we can send the registered newspaper. The newspaper which has been registered with RNI, Register of Newspapers of India, can be sent through this class, the registered newspaper. So any newspaper which contains wholly or in part of any political or any other news or any other current issues or articles relating to them, with or without advertisement, can be registered as registered newspaper, provided the only condition is that the newspaper, this is very important point, that is it should be published in numbers at an interval not exceeding more than 31 days. That is, within every 31 days there should be one publication, there should be some issue, only then it will be treated as registered newspapers. So if a newspaper or anything that is being published in numbers at an interval not more than 31 days, then it will be treated as RNP, registered newspaper. And also for this registered newspaper, there should be a bona fide list of subscribers. There should be at least 50 subscribers for this RNP in that locality. So an extra or even a supplement bearing the same date can also be transmitted along with the newspaper, shall be deemed to be a part of the newspaper. So even a supplement or any extra thing can also be annexed to this RNP. So if the following is enclosed as a supplement, it should not be treated as a RNP. Okay. So any advertisement sheet printed and sent for distribution with it. So if there is any advertisement sheet printed and sent for distribution, we will not be allowing. And any advertisement sheet with an order form along with it, it is not, it is prohibited. And any document drawn up in the form of a direct personal communication to the recipient. So since this registered newspaper should not have any direct or personal communication, so any other document drawn up in 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 the case of any direct or any personal communication to the recipient, so those case also it will not be treated as registered newspaper, and it will be treated as a book packet, and charges of book packets will apply to these kind of supplements. And next important point, to whom it should be registered. The registered newspaper shall be registered at the office of SP or SSPOs in the postal division. In simple, the head of the division will be sanctioning to use this registered newspaper facility. So it shall at two places RNP should be registered. One at RNA New Delhi and the other with the local divisional head. So the application of the first registration should be accompanied by at least 2 latest copies of newspapers and also a certificate from the district presidency or sub-divisional magistrate in the local. So the declaration should be there as per the present registration of Book Act 1867. So these things has to be given when they wish to register at the first. And what are all the other conditions for RNP? So, registered newspaper shall be transmitted from the place of publication and also from any other place approved by the division head. So, they will be given one particular office for office of posting. From there only they have to send that RNP. So, in particular, and the newspaper shall bear in print the word registered followed by the registered number or numbers which have been assigned to it by the superintendent of post office. So, the registration number should be clearly print in that newspaper, and the newspaper shall be posted on such days of week or on any dates of month as specified by the divisional head. So they will be giving some specific time and office of posting to be presented, and a clear notice of a minimum of 3 days should be given to the postmaster of the place in case of any changes being desired on dates or days of timing. If the registered newspaper, if they intend to post that in some other office or in some other days, they have to give a notice in advance of 3 days. Notice should be given to the concerned postmaster. So the number of days or dates on which issue can be posted shall not be altered in general means, whereas if in case they give a notice and the purpose is seems to be genuine, then they can accept these RNP, this one RNP. And a publisher is required to submit a list of at least 50 bona fide subscribers. As I told earlier, it should be published not exceeding within an interval of 31 days, and it should contain at least 50 bona fide subscribers should be there. And in cases of desires to post back issues, somebody will desire to post the back issues, the back date of the newspapers to the new subscribers whose original copies may have been lost during the transmission. Such back issues will be accepted for transmission at the window or door of the post office concerned. And each and every copy can be easily removed for inspection without removing the wrapper. So it should be easily removed and it should be for very easy for inspection. There shall be no word on the newspaper after its publication, and no word should be marked or written. Anything should be there after the publications. So, and one more thing, either a single date or a series of dates not exceeding a week should be allowed during which newspaper may be posted. And if a publisher requests for time change, he should make a request to the Postmaster General at least 3 days in advance. As I told earlier, if we require change in time or the change in posting office, he has to give a notice at least 3 days in advance. So permanent changes, dates as well as place may also be accepted as far as possible, and orders issued within a week of receiving the request. And then what is the validity of registration? So generally this registration, initial registration will be allowed till 31st December of third calendar year following that in which registration is made. For example, say if the RNP is being registered today, that is in 2022 July, then the registration is valid up to 31/12/2025. That is 31st December of the third calendar year, up to which the registration is completely valid. And the time usually that should be taken for processing a fresh registration should be within 30 days. It should be 30 days. Within 30 days, it should be processed. Any fresh registration should be processed. And after this completion of 3 years of registration, renewal should be made in advance before the 30th September of the year in which registration is to expire. For example, in our case, the registration is valid up to 31/12/2025. So the renewal should be made even for 30th September of. So the renewal should be made before 30th September of 2025. This is what renewal. So renewal can be granted for 3 years from 1st January to 31st December. So this is what registration. So registration is valid for 3 years. Third calendar year, 31st December of third calendar year, 30 days should be taken for process. And for renewal, advance application should be presented before 30th September of the year. And renewal is also valid for another 3 years up to that 31st December of the third year. And very important, what is the fee for registration? Post box, post bag also, this rent is very important, and for RNP the fees is very important. Registration fee is absolutely free. There is no charge for registration. But whereas for renewal, rupees 50 will be charged if the application is received after 30th September but before 31 December. Actually, keep in mind, for both registration and renewal, there is no charge at all. There is no fees at all. But for renewal, if the customer delays, if the customer is it's too late, actually we have to give application within 30 September. But if the application is received after 30 September, but before 31st December, that is expiry of that license, then a renewal fee of rupees 50 will be charged from the customer. And if it is application is presented after the 31st December, a renewal fee of rupees 100 will be charged for such renewal process. So normal registration renewal nil. If the delay is for up to December, then 50. After December means it is rupees 100. Next one, what are the packets of newspapers? So it is not necessary to send a single copy of newspaper. We can also combine a set of newspapers and we can also send it in a bundle. So more than one copy can also be allowed in registered newspapers. So communicated to the office of posting about the name and address of each such local agent and name of post office should be informed very well in advance. So the addressee shall call and take delivery of the packet at the window of the post office or the mail office or from the RMS van. So packets of newspaper will generally be delivered at the window to the local agent. So the sender of the packet containing more than one copy, that is bundle, shall arrange to have the following indicated on the packet as to be delivered at window. So the thing is, the point is, we can deliver, even we can bundle the newspapers and we can send. Those will be delivered only to the local agents, that also through the window delivery, to be delivered only at the window. And now we can see the tariff of the registered newspaper. If it is a single copy, the tariff is up to 50 grams, it is 25 paise, and above 50 grams up to 100 grams, it is 50 paise. And for every additional 100 grams or part after 100 grams, it is only rupees 20 paise. If it is single copy. If it is a bundle, more than one copy is there. So for first 100 grams, it is 50 paise, and for additional 100 grams is 20. See how meager the tariffs are. So only for these, the concession is very high. We have given these many conditions are there in registered newspaper. Very, very important class for examination point. So please keep it in mind. And the next thing, license to post without prepayment. This is one of the service available in registered newspaper. What is this WPP? Without prepayment. That is, some publishers may personally feel that pasting of postage each and every time may find it difficult and time consuming. So when a publisher posts a large number of newspapers, can post their newspapers without affixing any postage stamp. So what is the concept is they will pay on advance. They will deposit in advance in the office of posting, and whenever they present the articles for the publications, they will calculate the postage and they will deduct from the advance. So whenever the advance comes less, they will recharge it once again. So this is the concept behind WPP. So the same things. So in order to avail this WPP, the license to post without prepayment, it should be published at an intervals. The publisher should publish the RNP at an intervals of not more than 31 days, as you all already know, and they should post more than 500 copies at a time. I repeat, 500 copies at a time should be posted. Then only they can ask for this without prepayment of postage license. The newspapers which usually carry 5 paise stamps, they can minimum bring the post papers of shall be 100. They can even give 100, and this WPP, this provision can be enjoyed by them. Next, to apply in the prescribed form, there has to be this license will be given only by the head of the circle. So these publishers have to apply in the prescribed form to the head of the circle for a license furnishing the following particulars: the average number of single copies that will be posted and packets per issue of the postal each time. So head of the circle is competent to grant license to post without prepayment in respect of RNP. So the head of the circle will calculate the total postage payable every month and then require the newspaper to deposit an amount equivalent to the total of 1 month's postage as a security deposit. The amount of security may vary depending upon these things. The amount of security may be deposited in cash in a post office. This security deposit amount may be in through NSC's, the National Savings Certificate. It can be in the shape of NSC's, National Savings Certificates, or any pledge, any guarantee from either state bank or any nationalized banks. So they can give security deposit in these two ways. The amount of postage due on all the postings will be adjusted twice in a month. They will be adjusted twice in a month. On 16th, one on 16th, the posting between 1st to 15th will be adjusted on 16th of the month, and on the 1st of the following month, the postings made from 16th to end of the month will be adjusted in the next 1st of the month. So these two dates will be taken for adjusting these postings. So this is very, very important in case of WPP, without prepayment of postage. So the next clause which we are going to see is about the blind literature packets. So blind literature packets. So what is blind literature packet? The blind literature packet should normally contain literature for the blind. Generally, this is intended only for the visually impaired persons. So these may contain any literature for the blind, like braille script, and the CDs which is meant for blind may also be included in the blind literature. Apart from these kind of braille script or any CDs, no written communication or any kind of printed communication except the title and table of contents should be present in the blind literature packets. The same limits of dimensions as in case of book packets will be applicable to the blind literature also. Blind literature packets can be sent from one blind to another blind. A blind can send to blind institution and vice versa, and also from one blind institution to another blind institutions. And the maximum weight for a blind literature packet is 7 kgs, and the tariff is absolutely free. I mean, there is no, the only class of article which has no tariff is this blind literature packet. So question may also be like this: the only one class of articles for which no tariff is there is this blind literature packets. So the maximum weight is 7 kgs. One more point to be taken care of: actually, blind literature is a second class articles, right? It will be transmitted only in surface route. So if any customer, any sender, if he wants his blind literature packets to be airlifted, so then the air surcharge is applicable to the blind literature if it is to be sent by air. The point is, the tariff is free, but if the sender wants to send this blind literature packets through air, then he must definitely pay the air surcharging extra. So this is what about blind literature packets. So penalty for breach of conditions. If any blind reacher packets, any conditions are infringed, it shall be charged with letter or parcel postage, whichever is less. And the last but not the least, the last class of articles which we are going to discuss about parcels. What is parcels? As we all know, parcel is generally used and for transmission of goods. Generally, it will be useful for transmission of goods. Um, Parcel, the very most important thing in parcel is one must not post a parcel in letterbox. It should be presented only at the counter. And parcel should not contain any communication. It is generally for transmission of only goods. It should not be posted in letterbox. It should be presented only at the counter. So one personal communications can be sent inside the parcel. There is only one exception. Only one personal communication can be sent inside the parcel, and the parcel should not contain any prohibited items. Any kind of prohibited item should not be there in the parcel, and also it should be properly packed. And whenever the parcel exceeds 4 kgs, registration is compulsory. Very important point. So what is the maximum limit for, question may be like, what is the maximum limit for an unregistered parcel? Only 4 kgs. Whenever the parcel, the weight of the parcel exceeds 4 kgs, then registration is absolutely compulsory. Now let us see the tariff. The maximum weight of a parcel in sub post office or the head post office is 20 kgs. Whereas for branch post offices, the parcel, the maximum weight is only 10 kgs, half the amount. So in sub and head post offices, one may book parcel up to 20 kgs, whereas for branch post office, it is only up to 10 kgs. And as I already told, for URP means unregistered parcel. The maximum weight for unregistered parcel is 4 kgs. After 4 kgs, if the weight exceeds 4 kgs, it must definitely be registered. And what about the tariff? The tariff of parcel is up to 500 grams. The tariff is rupees 19, and for every additional 500 grams, it is rupees 16. So first to 500 it is 19. For every additional 500 and part thereof, it is rupees 16. And there is an extra home delivery charge of rupees 5 for each and every parcel which is weighing more than 5 kg. So whenever the parcel is more than 5 kg, there will be some extra 5 rupees as a home delivery charge in that case. And as we discussed earlier in PO guide earlier clauses, all of the redirection is absolutely free, but for parcel, the redirection fee is about 50% of the ordinary postage. The redirection fee is 50% of the postage, and redirection fee will not be applicable if it is redirected at the same delivery post offices or the same post town. Otherwise, if it is redirected or returned to some other delivery office or not at the same post town, then 50% of postage will definitely be collected. And for this parcel, the maximum prescribed size is the length should be minimum maximum as per letter, and for roll form and other than roll form, the dimension of parcel has been prescribed. So this is what about parcel. So by this 10 class of articles we have discussed in this session. So rest of the things, taxation and all, we'll discuss in the next session. So thank you all. Thank you so much.
Comrades, I hope you would have enjoyed this program. What are all the organization and what are all the rulings provided in the guide? You have gone through everything. Please go through once again. It is in the YouTube channel only, yours Kayveeyes YouTube channel only. You can go through once again. You read well again and again so that everything you can grasp very easily and you can write the examination very effectively. Please don't forget to subscribe the YouTube channel yours Kayveeyes. If you subscribe this channel, naturally you will get the notification as and when we are making the posting, fresh posting, not only for the classes but also the latest developments taken place in the department and also the orders and everything. You will definitely be benefited, and so don't fail to subscribe the YouTube channel. With this we are concluding. We will see again. Thank you very much. Meet again, comrades. yours KVS.